Stream here of the third place match from the Invader League. This is Luke Cook versus Nicky Myland, and it's already been a pretty interesting game. One aspect of the overlay here is going to be slightly wrong, as I am still configuring that. They are actually on Minefield rather than on whatever I had it as previously, perhaps clear conditions. So this is Nicky versus Luke Cook. And so we have Nicky Myland has made an interesting choice here. He's opted to be the red player. And the lists are up on the overlay here, but to make things fast, Nicky is playing a list. Nicky's playing Double Bounty. Luke Cook is playing a list that has Snowtroopers, Veers, and Boba Fett, but does not have Bosk. So there are also some other interesting aspects. I believe that Luke does not have any medics, whereas Nicky has 2 medics. So it's sort of a war between Luke's more traditional list. I think Luke's list either is exactly or at least is very much like the sorts of lists that we've seen in the past at tournaments. This is a very standard sort of Imperial list from Luke Cook, and Nicky is running a more quote-unquote modern list with the double bounty and with the medics, which have become popular recently, and so on. And we're going to see who's going to win in this showdown. So already we've seen, as you can see, some casualties here taken by Luke Cook. On Nicky's side, there's a few fewer casualties, but both of his medics have been used, and interestingly, his bounty hunters have taken heavy hits. There are 3 wounds on Boba and 4 wounds on Bosk, and it looks like these troopers here are about to shoot at Bosk again. This is recover the supplies. Right now, neither side has taken the important supply in the middle here. We see 1 supply over there, 1 over there, and then 2 over in this area. So it's been a little interesting in that respect. Grody1 has arrived and asks me to come back to L5R. It is possible that I will come back to L5R. Legion Worlds is this week, and so I'm playing in it, so I'm a little... Well, actually, I'm very much focused on Legion right now, but it's conceivable that I'll come back to L5R in the future. Okay, so it looks like these troopers have engaged Boba Fett and have actually managed to put another wound on him, so Boba Fett with only 1 wound remaining. This is some heavy damage over here, and it looks like on this turn we saw Dioxis being played. So, actually, this was a pretty big Dioxis. It looks like it hit the Snowtroopers, Boba Fett, these green stormtroopers, and actually 2 sniper teams as well. So that was a big move from Bosk, and it will finish off this teal sniper thanks to the fact there's only 1 model left with the poison counter, as well as doing some damage over there. So that's a big play from Bosk, and might serve to kind of even things up a bit. These casualties right now are substantially slimmer, in my opinion, than all the wounds on the bounty hunters that have been inflicted. But, there are still some medics, and I think it's likely that we're going to see one of these medics moving up to heal Boba Fett. Boba also has 4 suppression tokens on him. That might explain why Boba was targeted by that attack rather than Bosk. So he's trying to measure out. He needs to, if he puts the medic more forward with cohesion, he can be in range easily. Though it's important to note that the range to a medic is not necessarily only measured to the medic model. It can be measured to any of the troopers. So it might be better to put a trooper up here instead of the medic for line of sight purposes. In any case, Grody, I might also make a video at some point explaining my current thoughts on L5R. I had talked about this on Dragon Chat on the Discord, but very briefly, I don't like the state of the game right now. I think the tower meta is the high fate meta, tower meta, that type of thing, where people stay in really long and get piled on with tons of attachments, is still going strong. And that's been an issue in the game for a while. The high bidding meta is still going strong, and that's been an issue in the game for a while. Composure didn't do enough. And I don't know. For me, the main benefits of L5R are the fate system, where everything's impermanent, and player influence on the story. And I think the fate system is not having the effect that it should, and player influence on the story has not been that great either. So I'm not super hyped about L5R right now, but I do think it's possible things are going to get better. Um, Looks like Nicky here is now going to shoot the yellow snipers, and even though he can only see one model, they do have a poison counter from that Dioxys bomb. So if he can kill the one model he can see, this will actually mean the unit will be wiped out. One hit gets through the heavy cover. Can Luke pass the save? He cannot. So that model will die. This also puts a second suppression on the unit, so it's possible this guy will only have one action and will just be sitting behind here waiting to die from the poison. So this was a big turn here. This was a big turn. Grody says the new Lion Stronghold goes after towers. Well, that's good, I think. Yeah, I'll have to check it out. I haven't taken a close look at most of the releases. I know they're going to start doing more. I know they're going to start doing the more like one per month consistent release schedule, at least notionally. So that will help a lot as well. I think the content gaps have been pretty annoying. And yeah, they're gonna stream. They're gonna have really heavy streaming coverage for Legion Worlds. So there's like two groups round robin into a there's two groups round robin into like semifinals and finals, and they're going to stream. They're gonna stream 3 games on Saturday from the round robin, and then on Sunday for the semifinals and finals, they're actually going to stagger the games, so the 2 semifinal games are not played at the same time, because that way they can stream both of the games. So that should be a pretty fun situation, and I hope it does well. Oh yeah, no, I know Mind's Desire gave up on Dragon. Actually, that's one of the things that I like about Dragon. Dragon was always strong but fair. And that's something that I personally think is good for the game. I think, especially, like, even when Dragon was very strong, it was mostly strong but fair, except for provinces, which were stupid. But you know. Okay, so Boba Fett activates here, and he only rallies one of his 4 suppressions. That leaves him with 3 suppression tokens, and that means he is suppressed. That's going to limit his options a fair bit. He could shoot at these red guys. He could move on to the objective for later. He's not going to be able to shoot at the snowtroopers over here because he does not have line of sight. Yeah, I agree with that assessment of Dragon Grody. I think they're strong but fair. It's high skill cap, but we'll have to see what happens. Back in the day, people unfairly said that Dragon was super easy because if people didn't know what to do against your provinces, you would get free wins. But against a prudent and cautious player, it was kind of different. I hear that Dragon's weak right now, but I haven't played that much. Now, interestingly, it looks like Boba is opting not to shoot, and instead, I think in order to avoid taking more damage, Boba's actually going to jump into melee here. This is a bold move. He's jumping into melee with the Flames Trooper Squad, which I believe is already activated. So it looks like this is turn 2, and we've seen Reptilian Rampage and Merciless Munitions. It's hard to tell because they have not been advancing this. Whipcord Launcher came out on the other side, but hasn't been used yet. This is weird. Yeah, not sure. And it looks like the one bounty token is on Bosk. We could see Boba advance and use his weapons on Bosk here, and he has a decent chance, actually, of putting Bosk on stims. But, of course, with regeneration, there's a chance that Bosk will recover from that. This Boba is in melee. This is a weird situation. I'm not entirely sure what's going on right now. Yeah, we'll have to see how things progress, I say. Okay, this sniper has these troopers. Doesn't look like they're in the open, but that terminal is only light cover, so the sniper will be able to ignore it. So that should just be an aimed shot. It looks like he's moving up to get them fully in the open. I don't agree with that. They may not realize this terminal is light cover, but because he ignores that terminal, he should have just aimed and fired. That's okay, though. He moves into the open, so he's going to miss out on his aim token for this shot, and then he will die from the poison. Let's see if he can take some troopers down with him. He does get 2 hits. The aim token is not necessary. So 2 saves from the Stormtrooper squad against Pierce. So they have to pass both of these to not lose 2 guys. They do not. So that sniper may die to Dioxis, but he takes 2 of the Teal Stormtroopers down with him in his last stand. Grody1 asks, is Legion more popular than X-Wing 2.0 at this point? In truth, I don't know. I think X-Wing had a much more established existing player base. But from what I hear, some of the releases for X-Wing have been unhype, because some of the releases for X-Wing have been just like repackaged ships that were already in the game. And I think some people have been not as excited about that, but at the same time, they're also bringing out some new content. I think they're gonna release the Resistance transport soon. I think they're adding in some other stuff from the prequels and from the old film, from the prequels and from the sequels. But I hear that it's been kind of unhyped for people who play the old films, the Rebel and Imperial armies, because there hasn't been as much new content there. I don't know how it does in terms of overall numbers. I think the big tournaments and stuff for X-Wing are more populated than the ones are for Legion, but I don't know what the trend lines look like or how that's moving. Legion also is about to have Clone Wars come out. Clone Wars is not out yet, but Clone Wars is going to come out sometime this year. They said third quarter. My suspicion, though I don't have special knowledge on this point, is that Clone Wars is going to be a Gen Con early release and then come out in real life a month or 2 later. FFG kind of likes to do that sort of thing. And I think Clone Wars is going to bring a lot of people into the game, both because it's going to add 2 new armies, which will increase diversity a lot, and because there's going to be a new Clone Wars show and stuff. So it's kind of a good tie-in. The models for that look really cool. I've seen some of the previews. I saw the painted display or demo models or whatever from the Clone Wars core set at Adepticon. They had them in the display case with Obi-Wan and the clone troopers and the droids. They had droidicas. They had the Bark Speeder, I think it's called. Yeah. And the models look really good. So it's in Grody. The Clone Wars armies are going to be clones and separatists. And the starter set comes with Obi-Wan, 2 clone trooper squads, a clone heavy speeder bike that you can either have just as a bike or you can put a sidecar on it with a heavy weapon. And then the droids have General Grievous, who can be assembled in a bunch of different ways. They have 2 squads of just separatist battle droids, and they have the droidicas, which are the ones that roll around. And the droidicas come with 2 different models, one for the rolling droidicas and one for the deployed droidicas. And that's going to be pretty interesting here. Okay, so this squad's firing on Bosk, and they only managed to get 1 crit and 1 hit, but they do have a reroll from an aim token, giving them 1 more hit. Really not what they needed here. And this crate pile is, I think, heavy cover, so only 1 will get through. It does manage to wound Bosk, though, and that's his 5th wound suffered. So Bosk only has 2 wounds, and then 2 for stims. This Boba Fett could jump up here, shoot at Bosk, and if he gets all 4 hits, he could actually kill Bosk outright through his stims. And I do believe that Boba Fett has Hunter, so it is definitely possible to get all 4 hits. That's looking a little dangerous for Bosk here, and for Nicky Myland in general. So we're seeing some interesting gameplay here. It looks like the sniper war, however, because of that Dioxis charge, is tilting very heavily in Nicky's favor. 1 sniper is dead. This sniper is going to die as soon as he steps out and takes his shot. And I'm not sure where the other sniper actually is. He may have also died. Yeah, the other sniper also died. So I think that Luke had all his snipers up here, and that Dioxis charge wiped them out. Though I'm not sure exactly what the fate of the white snipers was. And on the other side of things, Nicky still has all three snipers. So the sniper war has basically already been won. And that can definitely lead to a lot of attrition adding up over the course of a game. But I will point out that this map has a large amount of terrain. And because of all that terrain, it might not be the case that these snipers will be able to get that much of an advantage. It looks like he finds a spot here where he's just shooting through the light cover of this cargo pallet. So that does mean that squad will be treated as in the open, with the downside that this sniper did have to move to achieve that shot. So we'll have to see how this shot goes. Sniper versus Stormtroopers. This is, incidentally, the third place match for the league. The winner of the league has already been determined, but this is the battle for third place. And spoiler alert, don't listen to this cast for the next like 30 seconds or something if you don't want to know who won overall, because I have some comments on that apply to this game as well. Orchimedes won the main match to be the league winner this time, and he was his single bounty hunter list prevailed against double bounty hunters. And in this match, it's also single bounty hunter versus double bounty hunters. So it will be interesting to see whether Nicky's double bounty list will be able to prevail, or whether or not they will not. So this sniper does rally off his suppression. That does mean he's going to be able to make a last stand just like the other sniper did. Looks like he is also going to run out into the open and fire at somebody. But I'm unsure who the target will be. Most likely the teal troopers, because they are still in the open. The sharpshooter ignores that suppression, and if he wounds, if he gets one hit, he'll kill the DLT, but he blanks out. He does not manage to kill the DLT. That is a bit of a blow. This medic has been depleted, but if he were able to kill the DLT trooper, and it looks like the other Imperial medic was actually sniped off somehow with line of sight after only being used once, which is a bit of a blow. It does mean there's no more medics available for Nicky Myland, and that means his Boba Fett and his Bosk are in a spot of trouble. Okay, well, interesting times here, interesting times. So this squad, I think, has picked up this box, though I'm not certain. No, I guess they haven't, because he tinted this other box for the squad that had claimed it. This squad should probably then... What? Okay. So they're opting not to go for the box. Instead, they're going to try to just increase the firepower for attrition here. That unit will have heavy cover because it will have light from that plus that, even if he gets around this edge. So he's not bothering staying on this side of the building. No, he is bothering. It's still wrong. So yeah, this is light cover area terrain on this map, which is confusing. But this unit will have heavy cover because they have light cover from the pallet plus the suppression. So this move doesn't actually get him a better shot, and it does move him off the objective. So I'm really not confident in that. We'll have to see how things go with this. It looks like maybe he's realized that he's staying on the objective. He is going to fire. Unclear if he's taking an aim token or if his second action will be to pick up the objective or what. Okay, so he fires in the squad. They do have heavy cover. It looks like 3 hits, which does mean... Oh, and I guess he did take an aim because he's re-rolling those. 5 hits, nice. So the first roll would have only gotten 1 through cover, but now 3 will get in. So let's see if he can make these saves. Only 1 save made. 2 troopers killed by that volley. So even though this unit didn't go for the objective, they did manage to do some nice attrition here. And honestly, I think I like that decision because this objective is not really at risk right now. In fact, this squad with this objective seems overly conservative to me, hanging out in the back. Especially given that the center objective is often decisive, and it looks like there's a high chance that Boba will... Or, yeah, a high chance perhaps overstates it, but there's a substantial chance that this bounty on Bosk will be claimed by Boba Fett over here, which would definitely have me a bit worried as Nicky Myland. A bit worried indeed. However, Nicky is a strong player. He has very good positioning in general. And this move with the Dioxis has given him a huge advantage in the sniper war, so we'll have to see whether or not he can turn that into an overall win. He's also opted to use this raised gantry area for some of his snipers, providing good line of sight, Well, Luke did not do that, and his sniper over there did end up getting picked off. Okay, so interestingly, he's throwing his models forward with cohesion. So he's gonna fire on Bosk, and Bosk will have heavy cover against this attack. The squad leader doesn't get to shoot, but all these other guys do, and there is an aim token. Oh no, 4 hits already. He has an aim token. He can make that potentially 5. He opts not to, it looks like. So Bosk has to roll 2 saves. Now, if I am Nicky, this is a situation where if I fail both these saves, I might opt not to use my stims and to just die. Because if I just die from this attack, then my opponent's Bobo will not be able to claim the bounty. So I don't know if I would do it. It does look like the aim token is being spent here, and it doesn't pick up another hit. So it's 2 saves here. Or no, yeah, it should be just 2 saves here. Okay, so 2 saves. It'll be interesting to see if he fails both of these. We'll use his stims. He fails both of these. And so he is now on his stims. Or he could just die. I would honestly just die here. I don't want to concede that bounty. I really don't want to concede that bounty. This is a very unusual situation, but I think it's actually better for Nicky to not use his stims because Bubba will almost certainly kill him if he does. And then that will give the bounty point to Luke. Yeah, that will. So I think Luke can claim his bounty here very easily. Luke says tough decision, lol. Yeah, Nicky understands the situation. These are both quite good players, and he is thinking, do I want to use those stims? If he doesn't use the stims, Boba can of course attack a different unit and get ahead on attrition. But I think that because he would almost certainly claim the bounty if the stims are used, it's better to just let Bosk die. And that's what Nicky does. A bold decision, not what you normally see, but he does just let Bosk die to prevent Boba from claiming that bounty. I do think that's prudent, but it does put him a bit behind on attrition, because this means that Boba is now free to engage other units and get some more models off the board, whereas if he went for Bosk, he would be killing a model that is kind of already dead, though there is the chance that he would regenerate. So this decision does mean that Luke will get a bit of an advantage in the attrition game, but it comes at the useful cost of not giving Luke a free victory point, so that's going to be pretty interesting here. That's going to be pretty interesting here indeed. My apologies to the viewers, incidentally, for missing out on the first turn of this game. I did not set an alarm for this, and I ended up sleeping through the first turn, ironically. But saw some pings on Discord and got back in the fight, so to speak. Incidentally, there are some connection issues that mean the players are playing this game untimed, so we are going to see it all the way through and see what the result is. That should be pretty exciting. Dashes 2015 says unacceptable. Yeah, you know, it is what it is. Okay. Yavin Base says, LOL, Nicky calling out Ellis's map. This map was made by Ellis. Nicky has insulted the map in chat. It's a very odd map. I actually like this map. I think it's cool, but it has some unusual terrain. It probably could use more scatter terrain, but I say that about a lot of maps. And it does have at least some stuff with like the machinery here that's refueling this TIE fighter, the desk, the console, the stuff there. Can he see leader's base of orange? Which one's orange? No. Just providing a ruling there that looks like the players got it all figured out. Veers is maneuvering around and probably going to take a shot at these troopers. Okay, yeah, so he's just shooting at the orange unit, trying to pick off that DLT. They will have heavy cover, but Veers busts it down to light. However, he only gets one hit, which is insufficient thanks to cover. So Veers, no effect except for a suppression token. Veers is actually pretty good at picking off lone troopers, but he is not very consistent. He has surge to crit and 3 dice, but he often needs to get a crit in order to get damage through because he only has sharpshooter 1, and it's relatively unlikely for him to get 2 hits on 3 white dice. He actually has a higher chance to get a crit than he does to get a hit on each die, though. So his odds of getting those crits are not bad at all. Not bad at all. All right. Infinity boxes says boxes in the middle are area terrain on this map like a forest, so you can see through them. The concept of being able to see through area terrain is not actually in the game. That is a house rule. It's a common house rule, but there is no rule that says that you get to see through area terrain. This unit fires on those guys and then loses a model to poison, but neither of their hits get through, thanks to some good saves by Nicky. I think if the players had declared that the boxes can be seen through, like a forest, that would be one thing, but that is not an actual rule in the game. It's very common that people play that the trees in area terrain forests are notional, and especially when you have the type of forest where it's a base and then the actual tree models can be rearranged. And in that case, they usually play that it doesn't block line of sight, but that is a house rule. That's not an official rule in the game. So rules as written, no, you cannot see through the boxes. If the players decided you can, then you can. But I was just making that call based on the way the terrain actually looks on the map. Okay, we see Boba Fett here. I don't think there's that much left to activate. There's these teal troopers here from Nicky. There's Boba Fett here from Luke, and then it looks like there is one more thing to draw from the stack from Luke, and 2 more from Luke. Or 2 more from Nicky, rather. So these teal troopers are moving in. They might be able to reach this objective this turn, actually. In fact, it looks like they will. Oh, so close, and yet so far. They are not able to reach the objective in one move. He's trying to straighten out that template and see if he can get that little bit closer, but he's not going to get it. That tiny gap is going to prevent. That's one of those millimeter situations. That's like I don't even know. It looks like a very small distance preventing these guys from getting in there. Less than a quarter inch probably, but they are not on the objective, and so they're probably just going to move up and fire. However, Boba Fett here might have something to say to this unit. We'll have to see. So yeah, they're going to continue firing on the orange guys. They have denied them the heavy cover by touching the piece that they were getting it from, but they will still have light cover from suppression. Okay, so only 1 hit gets in. Let's see if Luke can save his DLT. He can. Still alive. This squad has taken a fair bit of firepower, but has tanked a good amount of it, and that DLT does not fall to the teal squad. So now we're seeing a unit activating here. It looks like it's these guys who are hiding. seeing if they rally their one suppression. They don't rally. They should probably, if they do they have the box? Okay, I think their one action is to pick up the box. Yeah. Okay. So this unit's one action is to pick up this box. Okay. So right now each side has picked up one of their boxes. Each side has one of their boxes that's not quite picked up yet. This one, and the center has one of Nicky's squads very close to it, but that squad has not quite managed to actually pick up the box. So this is an interesting situation. I would be a lot happier as Nicky if my Boba Fett had more than 2 wounds left and was not in melee with those snows. But we'll have to see how that goes. This is a very unusual situation. I think what must have happened, and I'm sorry to have missed it, is that Bosk must have played that early Reptilian Rampage to just move down the field very quickly and get a chance to bomb those snipers. That's a tactic that's been discussed before, but you don't see it very often. However, we did see it this game, and it has paid off with all three of Luke's snipers having been eliminated, though Bosk himself died. 3 snipers for Bosk is a favorable trade, I believe. Let me think about that. So, what is it? It's 134 points for 3 snipers versus 123 for Bosk. Yeah, that's a favorable trade on points, plus the Dioxis charge hit other units. But the downside is it did enable a potential bounty, but the bounty wasn't claimed. So overall, that's a bold move, but it seems like it did pay off in this situation, and we're going to have to see how that ends up panning out for the game as a whole. It might look bad for Nicky to some degree right now, but because he has his snipers still up and Luke's snipers are not still up, this is going to start giving him an advantage on attrition. Now, it looks like he's moving to try to get an in the open shot over there, but I think he's going to need to move a bit further, as right now they should still be in heavy cover. He has to avoid the line passing over any part of this. I don't even know if he can get it. I think that squad might have heavy cover. We'll have to see. And this sniper, the other model, is not very hidden behind this tie, so we could see these guys move up. In fact, these guys can maybe just move up and shoot both of them in the open, but I don't quite know if they can get both the right angle and the range next turn. Looks like don't really understand this. Okay, that guy moves over there, maybe trying to just hide more reliably. I don't think he's very hidden, but maybe that's just what he's going for here. Okay, it looks like they are firing actually not over there, but instead against this unit trying to pick off a DLT. They blank out completely with just a surge that they don't have a conversion for, so this DLT will not be sniped off the board. A Boba Fett now activating, kind of a heavy hitter of Nicky's Imperials. And what is he doing? Is he going to melee his opponent's Boba Fett? Oh, no, he's just jumping onto this side of this. There's like a pile of crates or something here, which is, apparently these crates are heavy cover, and those ones are light cover, which is a little confusing, but I guess there's heavier stuff in those crates. So he's jumping to this side. Now that Bosk is dead, he doesn't need to jump over there and expose himself as much, so he's going to jump over here instead, and he's probably going to fire on those troopers that are close to claiming the box. I think that's what I would do in this circumstance. I guess he could shoot at Veers, but I think the troopers near the box are much more of a priority. Though, now that I think about it, I'm not sure, because those guys in the box will have to take 2 actions to claim it, and there's a lot of firepower there to potentially finish them off. However, I don't know. I think Boba shooting them is by no means bad. Double move. Double move. No, that's wrong. No, just kidding. That was a misclick or something. He's going to shoot them. 4 black dice against that squad. Hunter not enabled because they do not have, they're not a wounded squad because it's single model units. Hunter never works against single model units. All 4 hits. Ouch, that could be a dead squad. 4 saves and Pierce 1. He only makes 2, so Pierce kicks in and 3 troopers are dead. The squad is wiped out by Boba Fett. And it is looking like a wise move for Nicky to have let Bosk die on his stims, because that roll would have bountied Bosk easily. On the other hand, he did just lose another unit that he might not have lost if Boba had had to engage Bosk instead, but I think it is better to do this than to let your opponent claim a bounty token. Okay, interesting stuff here. Interesting stuff. You know, it's hard for me to assess who's winning in this game. Right now, I think I would give a bit of an edge to Luke Cook, but I want to point out that Nicky's does have a huge advantage in the sniper war. I don't think that Luke even has much to contest it at this phase. He might actually Luke does still have to play. Not deploy the garrison. His bombardment, and it's possible he could move Veers here and clamber up, and then he could see both of those guys and bombard them and maybe get a kill on the whole unit. So that would actually be a potentially strong move, I think. This sniper, meanwhile, trying to pick off that DLT. He only gets one hit and he needs two, and his reroll fails. This orange DLT guy is just tanking a ton of firepower here. There have been like 3 or 4 different attempts to pick off that last guy, and they've all failed. So not necessarily the result that Nicky wants to see. His main advantage is that his snipers are still up to do that attrition, and he's not getting the attrition results that he wants, at least this turn. So we're going to move into turn 3 in what's a very exciting game. Yeah, Darkling, this has been a crazy game, actually. So Nicky rushed his Bosk up the side and used Dioxis on, I believe, turn 2. And the Dioxis charge ended up actually killing I believe it killed all of Luke's snipers, who were clustered behind here, between the damage and the poison tokens. There was one of them had 2 guys left with 1 poisoned, and then one of the guys got picked off by another unit. So all of Luke's snipers are dead, but Bosk himself died. There was an interesting situation where Bosk was about to take 2 wounds, and Nicky opted to not use his stims so that Bosk would just die. And because Bosk just died, that meant that Boba couldn't claim the bounty, but Boba went over here and killed this squad instead. And it looks like we do see the whipcord token, the whipcord launcher being used on the enemy Boba Fett, which is a very prudent move here, as it does give the extra suppressions. Yeah, so I think actually what we saw, I missed streaming the first part, but I think we saw Reptilian Rampage just to move really fast over here, and then the Dioxis charge to bomb all these units did a lot of damage. But so it's an interesting situation here because there's many dead troopers here, so all 3 snipers are dead, and then there's 10 dead troopers from other units, which is a lot. But on the other side of things, Bosk is dead. 1 trooper squad is wiped, and another trooper squad has taken 3 wounds, as has Boba Fett. Both the medics are gone. This one's depleted, and the other one died with only 1 use having been used. So it's an interesting situation. Both sides have actually taken pretty similar amounts of damage in this game, though Nicky has lost 2 activations and Luke has lost 3 activations. However, Luke was 11 activations to 10 because this is classic Veers Boba versus double bounty, so it's an interesting scenario. We did also see Nicky voluntarily choose red player, which I think was to prevent him from being out deployed here, and that might have, I didn't catch the deployment phase and so on, but that might have enabled him to do that bold play with Bosk. That might have enabled him. So a very interesting situation there. Okay, so what are we seeing here? The players are on break, but let's think about what we're likely to see on this 3rd turn. So General Veers here could use maximum firepower and move to here, clamber up, and then I think he can see both models from this sniper team and potentially pick them off. So that could be an activation killed. He could also see the unit that's on this objective. He could also see the enemy Veers. So we could see a maximum firepower being played here from Luke Cook, trying to pick off a sniper and diminish some of that attrition that he's going to be taking. On Nicky's side of things, Bosk is now dead, so we aren't going to see lying in wait. but we could see, Boba Fett use his whipcord. I think a whipcord launcher from Boba Fett here is actually somewhat likely. What would be really interesting is if Boba uses whipcord and wins priority, he could actually stay in melee and whipcord veers to prevent him from moving and using maximum firepower if we do see whipcord versus maximum firepower. So that could be a pretty interesting interaction, actually, because I don't think Veers has line of sight to anything. Yeah, he doesn't have line of sight to anything here that he could use maximum firepower on. Actually, maybe he can see... I think he actually can see these teal snipers over there because he can see through troopers. They would have cover from this stuff, but he can see them. So that would be another unit that might be useful to use maximum firepower on. But I'm not sure if that's going to be the card that we see. Okay, here's the card. Luke playing his card with confidence. Nicky thinking about the situation a little more before doing his own. Yeah, it's been a very unusual game. They are also playing untimed. I mentioned this earlier, but there are some connection issues. Maximum firepower is actually... Okay, so it's actually coordinated fire here from Luke and maximum firepower from Nicky. Okay, so coordinated fire coming out and giving orders to a lot of troopers. One other benefit is I do believe he does have strict orders here. So strict orders is going to mean that his guys are going to be difficult to suppress thanks to coordinated fire. He gives an order to the yellow, blue, and red troopers, none of whom have suppression at present. And that does mean that they are not going to be able to be suppressed in just one action here, given that Bosk's suppressive gun is off the field. Now, interestingly, because he did do maximum firepower, he doesn't have whipcord launcher, which means Boba is locked in melee with those blue guys. Boba is not going to be able to get out of melee with those blue guys unless he actually beats them down. And that's going to be a little interesting, as I do not think they're necessarily going to do that. Veers aiming, giving an aim to the black troopers, and trying again to snipe off that DLT. And he fails, but he has that aim token. Let's see if he can do it with the reroll. What is that? What is that? Oh, maximum firepower now. He's saving his aim token. I would not do that. I would just use the aim token to try to get more kills there. Yep, he gets all 4 hits there, so he should have spent the aim token on the shot, but he did not do so. I think that was an error. I would have rerolled the white dice, assuming the red dice would get me results. Now he is going to roll some saves on this side. He can see both models. He can see the base of that guy. So they are going to have heavy covers. That does go through the building. So it is going to be 3 saves for that squad. And 2 successes mean that the DLT is picked off, but the sergeant remains alive. Okay, so that was a fair bit of damage, though I do think it would have been better to reroll on that, reroll the white dice and try to get another hit on the orange guys here. Okay, so we're going to see an aim and punch here. Now, that does enable coordinated fire, so that will pass. So aim and punch against Boba Fett, and this will pass on an aim token to another unit if he remembers to use coordinated fire. That's going to be 2 hits. Troopers do get black dice in melee. Rerolls the other one into 3 hits, so 3 saves for Boba Fett. 1 more wound. Because of the medic that was used on him previously, Boba is not yet on his stims, but he only has 1 wound left before he goes there. And it looks like the aim token is now passed to the yellow trooper squad here. Then one of the blue snowtroopers dies from the poison counter that they still had from last turn. So Boba Fett is now facing off against only 2 troopers. There is a gap there, though, and General Veers could move in and use his martial arts skills, or whatever his melee is called, combat expertise, against Boba, which would be a little funny. Not necessarily a high percentage move, but it would be an opportunity that he has. Also, if Boba does kick with his boot spikes, get some luck, and kill both of the snowtroopers, he is suddenly going to be pretty open for shooting with his 1 wound remaining, so that's a dangerous situation there. For Nicky Myland's Boba Fett, he is running a double bounty list, but his bounty hunters, Bosk is already dead, and Boba Fett is in trouble. Sniper. Taking an aim. Actually, maybe he was given an aim by Veers. I had thought Veers was given an aim to these guys, but it looks like it might be the sniper instead. I assume he's shooting that guy. He doesn't get him. He rerolls. He gets him. So the green troopers are wiped out. 1 dead to maximum firepower, and now 1 dead to the sniper. Okay, so he activated this sniper who didn't have... I guess that guy probably could have seen him. He didn't have an aim token already. He just took one and then did it. Those guys have already activated. Yellow guy is now activating. So they have an aim from maximum firepower. Or no, from coordinated bombardment. So it looks like they're going to move towards the center objective zone. And more importantly for this turn, I think they're going to get an out of cover shot against that teal unit. So we're going to see how much damage they can do. Okay, yeah, they're firing over there. 4 white and 2 red dice with an aim token. That squad is not... only the medic is in cover, but with 2 models out and 1 in, that does mean they're going to be out of cover. 2 hits get in, and then we are going to see a reroll from the aim token. Let's see if it adds anything. Nicky preemptively takes an extra die out, but it'll have to take... Whoa, that's... Oh, no, that's right. That's 5, and they're gone. Yep, that's another squad wiped out here, and an aim token does get passed to another unit. Looks like it's being passed to this unit over here. No, it's going to be passed... he's thinking about it, to the red squad. Okay. So that is another unit of stormtroopers down. Heavy casualties in this game on only turn 3, and we've seen 2 units of troopers and Bosk wiped out, Boba on his last wound, and over here we've seen all 3 snipers and a stormtrooper unit killed. Very, very heavy losses being taken here by both sides in this game. So we're going to see, it looks like the unit there, which is on the objective, is going to activate. I think they might just take the objective. I don't know, though. This is looking like a bad situation for Nicky because he is out of units in the middle of the map to take that center objective. He has his snipers for attrition, but he just, without forces in the center, I don't know what his plan is to win this game, because at this point it looks like there's going to be quite a few units from Luke Cook that can potentially claim this objective and just fall back. And even though Nicky has a big advantage on snipers, if Luke just stays back from the snipers, he can take 3 objective tokens and win this game. So this is looking like a dangerous situation for Nicky here. He's going to need to play fairly aggressively. Now, this TIE fighter is an interesting piece of terrain because these guys can run right under it, and that is what they're doing. It looks like they have an in-the-open shot. Yeah, it looks like that's an in-the-open shot against the troopers over there, the red troopers who have not activated yet. This squad does have an objective, but they decide that moving in and firing some shots is going to be more valuable. This is obviously not able to see, so he's going to have to get a little closer. But these shots being fired on the red troopers in the open from this green squad. Now, the problem is that these red guys, there is strict orders here, so these guys are not going to be suppressed. And they could activate next, move, get their own in the open shot against a unit that has the objective with an aim. But we're going to have to see whether or not the firepower here does a lot of damage to them, which could very well happen. Another option, of course, would be for them to move this way and engage Veers, but we'll have to see. Here comes the shot. 4 white and 2 red from an unwounded stormtrooper unit, but there's no aim token. Let's see how they do without it. 3 hits, pretty good. That will be 3 saves that need to be taken. So on average, 1 or 2 guys will die, and it looks like 3 guys die. Ouch. That move's paying off big time with no saves made, and that does mean that this squad's firepower is going to be greatly diminished. You know, they might have that aim token still, but with only 3 dice, they're not going to be able to do so much damage. Though I suppose they could replicate their opponent's performance there and get 3 hits and then 3 failed saves. Now, if he can get an in-the-open shot against the 2 snipers, it might be worth doing that, as he does have the highest chance. Strict orders being used there to guaranteed remove that suppression. Good play there. Good play there from Luke Cook. Moving up. Yeah, I think he can get an in-the-open I think he can get an in-the-open shot on the snipers. I don't know if his normal gun is in range or just the DLT, but he could potentially split fire there, firing the 1 white die against these guys in the open and then the red dice against the snipers. So that would be a potentially strong move. Okay, so he's thinking about it. It's probably going to be a move and shoot. Here. Let's see what he does. And I do think he's experiencing a bit of lag, so, you know, we'll see. He moves up. don't know if he quite has the... I guess he can see... Yeah, he can see those bases fully. So he has both units in the open. He's not at range 3 to the other unit. If he moves up more, he might get it. Moves up. Oh, but then he would give the squad cover, I guess. Okay, yeah. No, he's moving up. He has range 3. I don't think the snipers have cover, so I think it's going to be a shot from both weapons against the snipers. Yeah, he has the snipers in the open. I believe he has the snipers in the open. Yeah, he can see this guy fully, and that guy he should have center to center around the TIE Fighter wing, I believe. So he is going to then, I believe, fire on that unit and try to pick off a sniper team. Let's see if he has it. Boy, that's tough. It's hard to say whether that sniper is in cover. I think he's not, but it's very close, very close. He gets 2 hits and he has a reroll. Rerolls into 3 hits. Perfect. And the snipers go down. So despite taking some heavy damage, he does manage to do some heavy damage in return, and he does still have his coordinated fire. He can pass an aim token to a friendly unit at range 1 to 2, and it looks like he gives it to the unit in black. Now Boba Fett activates and does manage to clear 2 suppression, so he's not suppressed, but he is in melee. So it'll be interesting to see what Boba's options are here. He might just aim and boot spike, and it does look like that's what he's doing, or maybe he's just doing this without aiming. I can't tell. He does get 2 hits, so it's going to be 2 saves here, and he might wipe out those snowtroopers. Let's see how the saves go, and the snowtroopers wipe out. Now let's see, did he aim, or does he have another action? He is restricted to only movement speed 1 thanks to those... okay, so he's jumping up to melee his opponent's Boba Fett. Yeah, he's jumping up to melee his opponent's Boba Fett. And he's going to remove those immobilized tokens now. So Boba Fett is in a kicking duel with enemy Boba Fett. Now, interestingly, we could see Boba Fett withdraw here and allow shots from this unit in Veers on the enemy Boba, or we could actually see him try to get a kill with the boot spikes. You know, he will very likely get 2 hits because he does have Hunter. So if the enemy Boba failed 1 of 2 saves, he would then be on his stims. So that's a very unusual situation here, but we'll have to see what happens. So Nicky's bounty hunters may be in trouble, but they're still doing some disruption here with Boba Fett on 1 wound getting into melee combat. A core unit is drawn. Nice. That activation order does mean these guys won't be able to shoot Boba if the other Boba wants to withdraw. Looks like the orange trooper is being activated instead with 3 suppression on them. They're in a bit of trouble here. 3 suppression tokens and only 1 is rallied. They are still suppressed. That is an average rallied roll, however, and they do not have a good position in the slightest. I don't even know what their best move is here, but it is they're going to retreat. Oh, no, just kidding. They're going to attack. Looks like they're going to try to go and move onto the center objective. A bold move, but one that will force the opponent to start shooting at them, probably. I don't know. It looks like he's actually opted not to do that, which I think is somewhat reasonable because with all this suppression on this unit, they would be very unlikely to actually be able to claim the objective and then move away with it. So it looks like they're going to play a little more conservatively instead and try to maybe not get gunned down by the snipers, which is a pretty likely outcome in the center. Though I'm not sure they have that many good options at all. Okay, so this sniper is firing on the yellow troopers with 2 aim tokens. 1 crit, reroll. Rerolls both. That's an error. That's just a misclick. Okay. Hit and crit. And I think that squad is only in light cover, so that's going to be 2 saves being made. and only one succeeds. So 2 troopers from the yellow unit are killed by that sniper. So we are maybe seeing that advantage in the sniper war starting to inflict some attrition here. Now, one interesting scenario is if he can kill Boba, his own Boba can probably claim the center objective pretty easily. But with the heavy casualties here, it's looking less likely that his troopers are going to be able to claim that box. This is a really weird game. I don't know who's ahead. I feel like it's Luke, but he's not ahead by that much. I think he's ahead. I think he's ahead though, because if he can kill Boba, then his Boba can probably take the objective and run. And I think he has a pretty good chance to kill Boba. Moving and behind this area. Moving with the box. No, they're moving. No, they're not moving with the box. They're moving to be in position to claim the other box. And I think that's 2 moves. So these guys are going to... Okay, yeah, so I point that out. The other box moves with those guys. So this unit is going to have the 2 home boxes, and then the center box is going to be pretty interesting. Okay, so they're going to be firing here on that unit in the center. I don't know if they aimed. Looks like they didn't aim. No effect, just a suppression token, because that unit has light cover and a suppression. And then they are going to claim their own box, I believe. Snipers? No, not snipers. Boba Fett. Okay, so here's the big question. Is Boba going to withdraw to allow Veers to shoot the enemy Boba, or is he going to go for the boot spikes? I would maybe go for the boot spikes here, quite frankly. In fact, I think I probably would. No, he's moving. He withdraws. So the problem... first of all, this is illegal. You can't jump... Yeah, so you can't jump while withdrawing. So that's not a legal move. We'll see if that changes what he wants to do. So it does look like he's trying to get Veers set up to shoot at enemy Boba, but I'm not sure. I might have just gone for the kill. The problem is that because these other units are already activated, there's just not really... He doesn't have any firepower other than Veers to shoot enemy Boba, and now this Boba can shoot... Yeah, this is actually... I don't think this is necessarily a good move, because enemy Boba can now shoot something and then move back into melee. This is... he needs to get the... Yes, I'm sure about that. Darkland's come up before. He needs to have Veers get the... He needs to have his Veers get the kill on enemy Boba now, or else he is potentially in a lot of trouble. So he aims and shoots... and Veers blanks out. He does have a reroll, but 1 crit. Okay, can Boba make both saves? There's a big roll. No! Boba is put on his stims thanks to this shot from Veers. So, with Boba on his stims, Boba will get to make... So this is the problem. So if he had stayed in melee and attacked with the boot spikes, it would have been 2 saves. just like this. He would have failed one, and he would be on his stims, but he would be on his stims in melee, which would mean that he wouldn't get a final shot to try to do some damage. And now this Boba does have one more chance to inflict damage on the units around him, unless he guns down Boba with another unit before he activates, which is possible. For instance, if he activates his own Boba, he could shoot Boba and then jump onto the center objective and not pick it up yet, which would be pretty interesting. Darkling, with respect to withdraw, withdraw explicitly says a unit that is withdrawing cannot perform any other actions, including free actions, and cannot use any of its own abilities or keywords while withdrawing. So you are not allowed to jump while withdrawing. Withdrawing is different than falling back, where you do have to jump. As Tarun asks, hi people, is the Legion Worlds this weekend? Yes, the Legion Worlds is this weekend. I will be playing in that if all goes well. Oh, we're seeing Push versus Flamethrower here. And it looks like the roll-off goes to Luke Cook. So I think what I would do in this situation is I would activate Boba, shoot the enemy Boba with both weapons, and then move on to the objective. I think that's probably what I would go for here. No, he's going for Veers. So Veers is going to rally that unit. He's going to take an aim, give an aim to another unit. Give an aim to his own Boba, it looks like. Okay. And then he's probably going to fire at Boba and try to finish him off. See if he can replicate his performance from last turn with another wound on Boba Fett, this time killing him before he gets a chance to use that flamethrower. Can he do it? He blanks out completely, but last time he did that on the first one and still got him on the reroll. Once again, one crit on the reroll. Can Boba make both saves this time? What is he doing? Okay, he moves the dice. He doesn't do it. Veers exactly replicates his performance from last time and picks off Boba before he can use that flamethrower. So this was a somewhat risky play from Luke Cook, but it did pay off. He's killed Boba without him getting a chance to use that powerful card. And this situation is not looking good, because now this Boba can move on to the objective and grab it, and then is going to be able to flee the board. In fact, I think this game is basically over, because I just have no idea what Luke can do here to get these boxes. This unit over here is about to have 2 boxes and is out of line of sight. I'm sorry, I mean Nicky. Yeah, because I think Nicky has 2 boxes, but I don't think he has any real chance for the center now. And because of that, it's going to be a situation where it's going to be a 3-2 win for Luke Cook, with single bounty prevailing over double bounty. But let's not call it just yet. The game is technically not over. There are other things that could happen. We could, for instance, see like units over here moving to engage Boba and getting really lucky and so on. I do think that Luke has a huge advantage, but a huge advantage does not necessarily mean a win. We'll have to see it actually convert. The Groggy Dog says that Saturday and Sunday on FFG Twitch, it's going to be exciting. So for Worlds, Saturday is going to be, there's 2 different groups, and it's like a round robin in group, I believe. And so there's going to be three matches streamed on Saturday, and then on Sunday it's going to be the finals, and the finals are going to be streamed. The semifinals and finals are on Sunday, and they're actually going to offset the games. They're going to offset the games so that the semifinal and final matches, the 2 semifinal matches, will be played at different times. They won't be played simultaneously, so that FFG can actually stream both semifinals and the final. So it should be a pretty exciting day. I'm looking forward to it. This squad is firing on those guys who they do have. Does look like that. Yeah, they're in the open. So that's going to be 1 white and 2 red. I think it's probably best not to aim and just move after this to get into a safer spot. They do get 2 hits. Let's see how the saves go. Both saves are made. That will just be a suppression. And then this unit will, as I had predicted, move to try to get a safer position. They are at risk of Veers moving up and shooting them, but Veers is himself somewhat at risk from Boba Fett and from these troopers, and in any case probably would prefer to engage Boba. as Boba is going to have this objective pretty soon. Okay, core unit. Archimedes, this has been a wild game. So we saw the Reptilian Rampage into Merciless Munitions combo coming out from Nicky Myland and actually wiping out all his opponent's snipers. So Nicky has won the sniper war. He lost one of his own snipers last turn, but he has 2 snipers to 0. However, this squad is still not quite. They're not quite gonna make it. They're not on that objective. Both of Nicky's bounty hunters have died. Bosk died as a result of going that aggressively, and I don't know what happened to Boba. I guess he just had unlucky saves, or the snipers focused him or something. But Boba Boba got down to 1 wound. He jumped into melee with snowtroopers. He managed to kill the snowtroopers in melee and jump into melee with Boba. Boba disengaged, and Veers shot the enemy Boba. Managed to get 1 crit through, and Boba failed both saves, so he got put on his stims. Then this turn, Nicky's Boba tried to use his flamethrower, but he lost a roll-off, so Luke's push went off before the flamethrower did, and Veers exactly replicated what he did on the previous turn, aiming, missing completely on the first roll, getting 1 crit on the second roll, and then Boba failing one of his saves to die. So now the situation's looking quite bad. Oh, but it looks like this is a clever play. He's moved this unit up, and he's positioning their cohesion to block Boba from claiming the objective. Now, the problem is that Boba can shoot them and then move on to the objective potentially, but it does look like he's using them as a blocking element here to try to prevent that box claim. Right now, this unit is about to have 2 boxes. Those guys actually have a box with them, which is kind of crazy, and then these guys have a box. And then, of course, the center box being still in play. These guys do not rally. They're probably just going to... Oh, no! Aha! Another clever play. He's going to engage the enemy box unit in melee, forcing them to move their guys forward and stop blocking. A clever play indeed. Though he's actually, a clever play indeed. So he's moving these guys, he's engaging them in melee, and now these other guys have to pile in, which means that they aren't going to be in position to block Boba Fett from jumping onto that center point. This is a very clever play here from Luke Cook. He's going to be able to use that to negate Nicky's blocking tactics. So now Boba is in position to jump down there and claim this box this turn. I don't know why he gave Boba an aim token, since I think Boba definitely does not want to aim. Does not want to attack. He wants to go for the point, but we'll have to see. These troopers took a suppression from the red squad, and they failed to rally it. So just 1 action for that unit. They do have a box of their own, but at this point the center box is so important that I think Nicky is exposing his own boxes to danger in an attempt to prevent Luke from claiming the center box. We'll have to see whether or not he can actually do it, though. That previous unit's attempt to block has been negated, and it does look like he's in trouble. It does look like he's in trouble. Moving up. Yeah, all they do is a move. So now the next activation coming out is going to be these orange troopers here, who don't really have any shots, actually, weirdly enough, because this whole center thing is a melee. They could move up and fire on Veers, though. That might be their best option. Maybe they could climb the crate pile. Yeah, they could climb the crate pile and shoot it. I don't know. Yeah, it's a mystery. Nope. Okay, he actually opts to use the other troopers instead, and they're just going to pick up the box. And then dodge or move, standby. Okay, whatever. Doesn't do anything, but nothing else they did would do anything either, so that's fine. Okay, snipers activating. There's 2 sniper teams left alive. This one has not activated. They have no shots. Oh, so if they move over here, though, they'll get these red guys. They won't be able to get them in the open, but they will be able to get a shot on that red unit, and if they get even 1 kill, it will kill the DLT. So that is a pretty valuable shot to take against the red guys who moved around this building to avoid the other squad. I guess the other model from the sniper team died somehow. I didn't see that happen, but oh no, just kidding. He was just being moved. I don't think they're range 2, though, so the other model's not going to get a shot, but it does mean that this unit's a little bit safer. Now they're firing on those guys. They do need to get the double hit or the crit, as the unit will have the cover. Well, I guess they were in range 2 because all 4 dice are being rolled. Wow, 2 crits. Those guys are probably done for. What the... 1 white die rolled. I don't know why that was done. I think a misclick. 2 red dice. I guess this is range 2. Okay. Oh, he makes both saves, though, so the squad leader will stay alive. Crazy situation. You don't see Imperial snipers getting to use both their weapons very often in this game. It's usually the Rebel snipers who get to do that thanks to the increased range on that basic trooper. However, if Imperial snipers do get to use both their weapons, they are, of course, better at doing it than the Rebel ones are, as their extra guy, guy gets 2 dice, 2 black dice from his gun, as opposed to the Rebels who more reliably get dice, but they only get 1. So it looks like these guys are moving so that they can see Veers. They're touching this thing to deny him cover, and I think they'll shoot at him, though we could see them firing on the sniper instead. No, they move and stand by. I think that's wrong, but that's okay. I guess with... I don't actually... Yeah, I actually have no idea why they did a standby here. That doesn't really make sense to me. Alright, standby triggers. Let's see if there's a cunning play. I don't know why they didn't just shoot. Standby doesn't trigger. Okay. Oh, okay, maybe they did this so they can shoot Veers after he moves to his blocking position. Okay, so Veers now is in position to block Boba Fett. What? Oh, he's making sure. Yeah, so he has blocked him. So now the standby will go off with him in the open, but he was in the open already, so I don't think the standby does anything. That's okay, whatever. So shooting Boba Fett. Or no, shooting Veers. Sorry, just kidding. 1. Wow. Does not wound, so Hunter is not enabled. Boy, this is a crazy situation. Okay, so now Boba will probably, instead of going for that objective, he'll probably fire on enemy Veers. That's probably what we'll see here. Ooh, man, this is crazy, though. Veers could pick up that objective and then move into melee combat. This is crazy. This is a really weird situation. Okay, so he's going to aim again and then shoot Veers. So he has 4 black dice with 2 aim tokens, so very probably going to be 4 hits here. But yeah, Veers could potentially pick up the objective and then melee. Oh, he gets all 4 on the first roll. Those aim tokens prove unnecessary. 4 saves for Veers. With Pierce, Veers takes 4 wounds. 1 wound left for Veers. So even if Veers grabs this objective and moves into melee, there's a chance that he'll receive a beatdown from Luke's forces. This is so crazy. Okay, that was the turn, I think. I think that's all units. Yeah, or no. There's a core unit left here, but is that someone that wiped? I don't know. I think that must have been a unit that wiped out. What a crazy situation. This has really gone to a weird place. I don't know what will happen next. Okay. On to turn 4. Command card's coming out. Let's see what happens here. Flamer from Boba versus Standing Orders. Okay, yeah, with the bounty hunters dead, there just aren't tokens left. There aren't orders left for Luke Cook, or for Nicky Myland, so Luke has now a big advantage. I don't know why he used Boba's Flamer, actually, but that's okay. Yeah, I don't know why he used Boba's Flamer. Whatever, chill. So maybe he'll activate a different unit and try to kill those guys and then have Boba Flamer the Black Troop. I really don't know. Don't understand it. The Black Troopers aren't on the objective, so they can't claim it if Veers is the only one who can claim it, so if Veers dies. This could be strange, though. Is he going to draw from the stack and try to kill Veers with the Orange Troopers and or with his own Veers, or is he going to go for Boba? Oh, one sec, guys. I'm getting a phone call here. Sorry about that. Okay, that was a fraudulent phone call, I believe. I'm receiving a lot of those these days, so let's get back to the game. Boba activating. Yep, he's gonna. I think he's gonna go for the kill. Okay, so if Boba attacks Veers here, he can just use both. So look, Boba can just attack Veers. He can use both his weapons. He doesn't actually want to use the flamer because it's worse than just shooting the rocket. So he'll shoot both his weapons at Veers, and then he'll probably kill Veers because he does have Hunter, and all he needs is one hit. So he has. Why is he using the flamer? It's actually worse. There's no benefit to using the flamer. Maybe he's just going for the increased reliability to try to get one. He doesn't. He'll get it. Yeah, he's got it. Okay, Boba. Veers dies, and now he's going to move on to the objective. I think. Interestingly, he might have opted to not move on to the objective and just hang out there, because he can move on to the objective and claim it next turn, and that way avoid being shot at by the snipers. Whereas because he's done it this way, there is a chance that he'll take some hits. So it might be better to actually be more conservative on that, but I'm not sure. We'll have to see what he ends up doing. It's also possible that he should have moved there, shot Veers with his gun, and then used his flamer on those snipers or something. But I think that's risky with respect to these other units. Moving up. There he is in position. Firing on the troopers for some reason. I don't know why he didn't shoot Boba. He does get 3 on the troopers who die. Yeah, so the snipers shooting their pistols are actually pretty fearsome, and they finish off another stormtrooper squad. Uh, Luke came to this game with 6 core troopers, 6 core squads, and he now has 1 sergeant plus the objective holders. Oh no, that just came. He also has the 2 guys in melee here, who he is activating now. So Luke activating the 2 guys in melee, and they're going to aim an attack. I might have actually wanted to dodge an attack here. It's a rare situation where dodge can be pretty good, because they have pretty good odds with these attack dice anyway, so I'm not sure the aim will be that valuable. Yeah, they give the 2 hits anyway. I think it would have been better to get the extra defense, but that's not what they do. And the dodge, they do pick off 1 model from the enemy unit. Now, interestingly, this other enemy unit could withdraw onto this objective, but because because Nicky no longer has command cards, Boba will go first, even with Imperial Discipline or something, because all that's left is standing orders, I believe. So withdrawing there doesn't really avail him much of anything. Other snipers also moving up. Probably going to be firing on Boba Fett here, but I guess it's possible he would get a shot on the red troopers. This is such a weird game. I think we're going to see Luke's forces heavily depleted, but still going to carry the day. I think we're going to see Boba pick this up and then jump out of range. These guys have that objective and won't really be contested. And these troopers and snipers might well finish off the remaining stormtroopers from this side, but it is an objectives game, so I think that is probably going to be how it goes. These guys don't manage to get range 2 for that pistol, so it's going to be probably, yeah, just a sniper shot on Boba. It looks like you might be able to see the top of that guy's head, but I would shoot Boba anyway. So we'll have to see how this goes. I think Boba's in the open even because he doesn't have a suppression token right now, so... Or rather, he's in light cover, which is ignored. Okay, I think he may have actually opted to move twice. Okay, I don't really understand why he's not shooting at Boba, but maybe he has a cunning plan here. I don't know. This unit should probably melee those guys and then punch them. And he does see that, so he moves up, and then he's gonna throw a punch at those black troopers. Try to punch down another one. This is a bad positioning. Incidentally, he should position so that he's touching the objective that they have, so that in the event that he does manage to melee them down, he can pick it up without having to move. But that's okay. It's probably not gonna be that important. He does get the hit. Let's see if he gets a kill. The previous melee attack did kill one of those troopers. Let's see if this second one can do the same thing. 50-50 shot. And the save has failed. Another trooper dies to melee. So the troopers there who went to block Boba Fett are having a tough time with these melee attacks from Yellow and Red Squad. An interesting situation here in the third place game. Let's see what's going to happen next. Okay. Thinking about it. They may be talking things out. I do think this game is basically over, but we'll have to see. I'm not sure what Nicky can do here but I don't know. I wouldn't give up yet. Why not have these other guys move up and shoot at Boba? Maybe they get really lucky and kill him. It's not impossible. It's extremely unlikely, but like the game is not over yet. I think I'm confused as to why these snipers didn't engage Boba also, because he has a chance, even if it's a slim chance, to actually kill Boba with shooting, which he isn't taking for reasons that I don't understand. But we'll see what happens next. The dark green troopers here could activate. Yeah, they may just be talking over what's going on. Don't see any comments from them. Yeah, I'm not altogether sure what's going on here. Sorry for the unhyped commentary right now. It looks like Nicky's considering his options, and it does look like he's going to use the unit that's in melee, I think. Yeah, there they go. And that's probably going to be an aim and punch. No, it's a move into combat with Boba Fett. This does not make any sense to me, because Boba Fett will just pick up the objective and then punch these guys. So I don't think this gets him any real benefit. Yeah, I don't get it, because these guys are now Boba is just going to pick up the objective. He doesn't even need to kill those guys. He can just keep doing whatever, and those guys are not going to kill him in melee. I don't understand why Nicky hasn't been shooting Boba Fett this turn. He had the chance. He would have needed a lot of luck, but he might have been able to bring Boba down with shooting with the green guys and the two snipers. And this way, I just don't see what he's going to do to kill Boba, and Boba's still going to pick up the objective. There's no rule that says that you can't pick up an objective while in melee, so I'm not sure what Nicky's plan is here, but I don't think it's going to work out. Now, these troopers can move out and probably kill the yellow guys. So the thing is, Nicky is quite ahead on attrition and killing stuff. He's wiped out almost all his opponent's troops, but it doesn't matter, because he could wipe out everyone on the board except for the three hiding guys and Boba and still lose this game. This is an objectives game. And actually right now I don't even know if he's ahead on points, which sounds crazy, but Boba's expensive. In any case, his basic troopers are doing a lot better than Luke's basic troopers are, for whatever that's worth. And I do think we're maybe going to see this yellow unit getting wiped out here. At the very least, they're going to take... he might be trying to split fire there, but that's pretty bad because no, this is a bad move. He might be trying to split fire the DLT onto the red guy, but this is a bad move because the red guy, I believe, can't be... Yeah, the red guy can't be seen at all by the sergeant, so it's still heavy cover. So that's a poor split fire choice. Yeah, this is heavy cover, so he needs crits, and he doesn't get them. No effect. So then the white dice into the other squad. Okay, so it looks like it was actually a rules mistake here. Nicky did not realize that if you the rule about ignoring cover that you're touching only applies if you can see the target. Models that you 100% can't see are in heavy cover, even if you're touching the same piece. So as a result of that, he was unable to get he thought he could get an out of cover shot on both units, but this guy counts as heavy cover because cover is a turn from the unit leader over here. So he ended up kind of wasting his DLT, and while he did pick off one model from that unit, it would have been better to focus fire on the yellow squad and make them take 2 more saves, potentially wiping them out. So a rules mistake there. Now we're going to switch to Veers. Veers just rushing in there, joining the crew. I don't really know what he's planning to do, but honestly, he doesn't really matter at this phase because it's going to be all about the objectives, and Boba Fett's going to claim that objective next turn and probably give the win to Luke Cook on turn 5 and 6 because with Boba in melee, I just really don't see how Nicky will kill him. I don't think he has any way to kill him, really. I wonder if these snipers can rush those. No, doesn't look like it. Oh, maybe they... Well, that's interesting. I'm wondering if these snipers will be able to somehow rush these guys. If he can do that, he could potentially win the game. But it doesn't look great. And if he loses that center squad in melee, that would be even worse. Luke asks if he can use standby against withdraw. The answer is yes. Okay, Boba picks up the objective and does standby. This means that if the enemy unit withdraws, he can move into melee with them, preventing other enemy units from shooting him. I do think this game is over or close to over, but also if he does that, he could shoot. But I don't think that's as good. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Uh, these guys have activated. I don't know why all this stuff is flipped over. I really don't know what's going on here. Yeah, I don't think they can see. Oh, he's trying to see if they can see. I think the answer is no. Yeah, I don't think they can see even. They might be able to see part of this guy's backpack. I don't think they can do it. Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Too much stuff there. Don't think they can see the backpack. They. Okay, so squad leader, DLT, and guy behind him can see a sliver of base to try to pick off that DLT trooper. They do manage to get 3 hits, so let's see if they will get a wound through to drop that guy. Can they do it? Yes, they kill the DLT from that squad. The DLT does not really matter, but it is a kill. And we might see those snipers rushing in. Let's see here. Okay, sorry, I missed exactly what was happening. I think that was a sniper shot. Yeah, okay, so a sniper shot, uh, they just deleted some of the terrain or something here, so I'm sorry, I'm a little confused. The sniper shot kills somebody. It kills that guy. Great. So what the lone unit? Okay, so actually, I think it was the sniper shot. What? So I think the actual sniper shot one of the lone unit leaders, and the pistol shot the other one, and he killed both of them. I think that's what happened. So, good show there from the snipers. Winning that sniper war has allowed him to do a lot of attrition, but it's not going to be enough, I feel. This unit fails to rally. Now the question is, can Nicky pull a rabbit out of the hat here by somehow... Can Nicky pull a rabbit out of the hat here by somehow picking off this guy with his objective next turn, causing Luke to drop 2 boxes? And if Luke drops 2 boxes, then he'll only have 1, and it will be 1-2, and Nicky will actually win. It is conceivable. It is not likely, but it's not impossible either. Can he pull off such a play? Can he pull off this play? And I don't think he will, but he does not. It's not unheard of. Okay, this other sniper. Okay, so the sniper won't be able to see. Can he? Okay. Oh man, he's running for it. Oh, he's going for it. He's gonna try to pull off a crazy move and get that other, get this unit down somehow. The problem is they're gonna be able to go first. They could run around this corner. Oh, but they're gonna be exposed to shooting from that squad if they do that. This is crazy. Can Veers withdraw into melee with that squad? It looks like, no. Veers is punching the other guys. He gets 2 hits. Veers gets 2 kills in melee. General Veers, the combat expert. So now this guy. Oh man, that guy has a box too. Veers needs to pile into melee, and he can pile in so that he's touching that box. He does it wrong. He doesn't see the opportunity. He could pile into this position. Whoa, that's wrong, that's wrong. This guy takes a dodge and then a standby. Boba does get to kick him after he takes the dodge. He doesn't get to do both actions. I'm not, standby is voluntary. He could choose not to do it, so I'm not telling them. But Boba does have a chance to kick this guy and kill him now. Luke backs out of the lobby. What? Don't understand what's going on there. Don't understand this at all. Might just be some lag issues. Just quickly asking them what's going on here. This game is still alive. You know, Nicky might manage to pull a victory out if he can somehow get these guys. Luke won. Okay. I guess it's over. So I'm gonna stop in for the interview, I guess. Hey, what's going on, guys? 1 second here. I cannot hear you. Probably thanks to an error in the old settings. Okay, I can hear you now. All right. So this game is over.
Yeah, Luke won 3-2.
Okay, sounds good. That was a pretty wild game, man. There was some odd stuff happening in that game.
Yeah. There always is.
Yeah. I don't know if you caught it, but turn 2, he played the Diaxis chart.
Yeah, and blew up all your snipers. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
That was pretty wild. So I'm sorry. This might be an impertinent question, but why is this game over?
Say again.
Why is the game over?
Say again, sorry, Kingsley.
Why is the game over?
Oh, it's turn 6. We're on out of activations.
Isn't this turn 5?
No, I played standing orders round 1 if you're looking at my cards.
Oh, got it. Okay, cool. I thought, I was mixed up. I thought there was another turn, and I was like, what's going on?
Maybe just a scramble for the middle at the end.
Oh, right, and then you played standing orders twice because you lost your characters. Got it. Okay. Yep. Yeah, I was thinking he was going to have one shot with those snipers to try to take down the 2 guys, potentially, and I was like, oh, it's coming down to it.
Yeah, I noticed them. I think he just noticed them an activation too early. When did you actually notice that, Luke?
I saw like the move and then cohere far. I kind of saw it. So I was just hoping to pull core right away. Yeah.
Man, that was a very unusual game. Did you do 3 moves with Reptilian Rampage to set up that bomb? I didn't see it, but I know that that's a possibility that's been discussed theoretically.
Yeah, no, so he did like 2. He did 2 moves and then the standby, I think, first turn.
Okay.
Yeah, the first turn I played Reptilian Rampage. I thought that he was going to go for the middle objective, so I double moved and put Bosk on standby, just in case if he did move in for it.
Got it.
Then I could have had a shot at least.
How did Boba take so much damage early on? I noticed that he was like heavily wounded when I jumped in on turn 2.
He took 1 from the mine. He recon intel into it.
Okay.
And then my snipers that were at the top there.
Yeah.
They started behind the TIE fighter, so turn 1 I just took a speed 2 move forward, cohered out of line of sight, and then shot Boba Fett.
Got it. And that managed to do some damage, and then one of the medics got sniped off before using his second charge?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting, yeah. This was an interesting situation. So I want to ask, what do you guys think about double bounty? So this is the finals, and the third place game here were both single bounty versus double bounty, and in both cases single bounty won. Do you think that means single bounty is better? Do you think that means the dice just went one way? What do you guys think about that? I'm curious.
I don't know. Me personally, I think I play the bounty hunters wrong. I just go aggressive, and I'm not even bothered if they die. The bounty is obviously about surviving till the end.
I was thinking about that. You know, I think Bosk certainly played very aggressively, but I think he almost certainly killed more points than he was himself worth with that bomb.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the problem with the double bounty, and this has been mentioned before, but you don't have the activation control.
Yeah, that's definitely a weakness.
Like first turn, he didn't have an order on Boba Fett. That's how I was able to get all those shots.
Oh, because he had to go early?
Right.
Got it. Yeah, double bounty. Yeah, I think double bounty's weakness is definitely like command cards and activation control, letting you like run the rest of your army normally.
Yep.
You get a lot of awkward spots. Similarly, there's things where it's like Veers comes out late, so he doesn't really do very much of value or similar. But
Hmm.
I do think I've been thinking about it myself. I do think there's definitely some strengths as evidenced by the fact that double bounty did make it to both the finals and the third place game. The one thing that I
I don't
really
know
like
about.
about it is that I think Bosk is bad at doing objectives most of the time, and Boba's really good at it. So you can sort of take both and just be like, okay,
Yep.
Yeah, 'cause it just gets picked apart so easy, just because well, it's 9 wounds to get through, but at the end of the day, it's a white save, and most of the time they're gonna get you out of cover.
yeah, Bosk. I think you gotta. I think if you want him to be survivable, you have to play him pretty far back, which isn't necessarily bad,
Yeah,
but it does mean that he is not going to be doing objectives from that position. So it's sort of a trade-off.
yeah, and it's probably the best sniper in the game, really, is Bosk.
And then Boba is sort of the objectives king, or at least he can be.
Right.
All right. Any other thoughts on the game or on the league in general? This was the last game of the league to be streamed, so we will be taking a brief hiatus from Legion streams, I believe, until the Yavin-based Team League starts soon.
Yeah, that starts like next month.
I'm
So
not
that'll be fun.
sure if it's declared. I think I seem to remember hearing that it would start in July. Like I don't think it's gonna start until after Worlds, but we'll have to see what happens.
Right. Teams are due by July 8th, so
Oh yeah, so it's definitely starting in July then.
yeah.
I need a break. I'm worn out.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean honestly a break seems pretty reasonable all things considered.
Yeah, it's
Been
been a
hard
lot of
3 months.
Legion.
Yeah.
All right, any last thoughts before I close down the last stream of this league? Darkling asks whose team I'm going to be on. I actually don't know, so it's gonna be an interesting question. I have been discussing some stuff. Maybe with some people I know in real life. We'll have to see. Um, we'll have to see. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the team league. You guys gonna play in the team league?
Yeah, me and LJ are one Tyrion, and I think Groggy are forming a squad. It's gonna be
Yeah,
like an admin team.
that sounds like a strong team, dude.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to play with the people that we played with last season, or was that a thing?
I don't
Someone
remember,
mentioned that.
quite frankly. I think there had been some thought of maybe you would have to switch it up, but I don't know.
If that's the case, I would be running with my boy.
Sounds good. All right, guys. Thanks again for letting me stream this, and sorry that I missed the first turn and a half or so. It was an exciting game and a good conclusion to the league.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. That was my first time playing in the league, so I enjoyed it.
Well, you did pretty well. That's a third place.
Very
That's
well.
a good performance.
Thanks.
You made the
Thanks for the game,
podium.
Luke.
Yeah, good game, Nicky.
All right, catch you guys later.
Yep. See ya.
See you in a bit, guys.
And all right, to the viewers, thank you all for watching. That's going to do it for this. And as I mentioned in the interview, we are going to be back with some more content from the Yavin-based Team League later. That's going to do it for the Invader League, though. So in the final standings of the Invader League, let's just announce those standings right now. So we have the final, it's all finished. That was the last game to be played, and at the end of the day we have third place is going to go to Luke Cook after his victory in that game that was just played. Second place is going to go to Beefcake 4000, and in first place, winning the Invader League Season 3, it will be Orchimedes. So congratulations to Orchimedes for his victory. This was an exciting season of the league, and we will catch you guys later for the Team League, and then presumably for later seasons of the Invader League itself, God willing. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll be back later with more content insofar as we have games to stream. Catch you guys later.